a loan of 50,000 rand, right? Because it's a loan, the person is borrowing, it's most likely to be present value annuity. But let's check that. So he borrows 50,000 rand over a period of 2 years, right? To make repairs to his home. The loan is to be repaid by means of equal monthly payments. That's a clue that we are dealing with present value annuity, because there are equal payments made at regular intervals, right? Plus the person borrowed money, so that's present value. But he's going to start 1 month after the loan was granted, which means the first repayment will be made at T1. No repayment is made at T0. Remember, if you borrow money, you can't start repaying straight away. Where would you got the money from? So the first repayment can only be made from T1, right? So the interest rate is constant. It's 14.5% per annum compounded monthly. So the first question says, calculate his monthly payment. Okay, we need to calculate the monthly payment. So first thing, let's draw a very short timeline to visualize what's happening. So the loan is to be paid off within 2 years. So 2 times 12 will give you 24. So we have T0 here, then T24. Right? The first payment, obviously, he borrowed 50,000 here. The first payment is made at T1. This amount is X. That's the one we want to calculate. How much is he gonna pay every month to pay off the debt of 50,000 rand? All right? Maybe this was like a personal loan, for example, right? Or it can be an overdraft. Okay? Banks can give you an overdraft of that amount, right? Which is also borrowing. So in this case, we want to calculate X, but we have to write our formula for present value annuity first. So it will be P equal to X times 1 minus 1 plus I raised to the power of minus N all over I. Right? Now, I just want to remind you, this formula is provided when you write the trial examination, the final examination, together with the one for feature value and the 4 formulas that I first taught from grade 11 financial maths. Okay, they are also provided. The ones which are not provided are calculating outstanding balance, last payment, nominal and effective interest rates. They are not provided. Okay, so we want to calculate X. By now, you should know that X is equal to the amount borrowed, which in this case is 50,000, times the interest rate divided by 12, which will be 0.145 over 12. Then we divide this by everything inside the square bracket. You should know that by now. So that will be 1 minus 1 plus 0.145 over 12 raised to the power of, now here we have a total of 24 payments. So that will be minus 24. Can someone do a calculation for us in terms of the answer? So our P is 50,000. The I is 0.145 over 12. Then we divide that by the difference between 1 and the compound interest part. But be aware that the end here, it's a negative 24. Because this is the present 2,412. Okay, so 2,412. Are you getting the same answer? How many cents? 47. 47. All right. Is there anybody else who did the calculation? Yes. You got the same answer. Okay. All right. So this is X, which means every month he has to pay 2,412 and 47 cents. It means that in his banking account, By the end of the month, or by the last day of each month, you must have that. Okay? For him to have a good credit record, you must have that amount. If he doesn't have, then he has to run around and try to borrow maybe from friends, relatives, and all that to pay it off. All right? So this is the first part. Then, number 2 now, that's where we have got what are called missed payments. Now, check this out. Now, somehow, he was unable to make the 11th payment, the 12th payment, 13th, and the 14th payments. So, due to financial problems, he could not pay 4 payments. Okay? He still wants to repay the loan by the end of the original 2 years. Right? Because if he extends beyond 2 years, you pay more interest. So it's better to negotiate and pay within the initially agreed period, which is 2 years. So the question says, calculate his new monthly payment. The monthly payment will go up because of missing those 4 payments. So for us to calculate the monthly payment means we need to calculate the new value for the present value. That is the new P due to the delay. That new P is actually the outstanding balance because of the 4 missed payments. All right? So we need to know how much money was still being owed by this person after the 10th payment. Okay? Because remember, he missed the 11th, 12th, the 13th, and the 14th payment. So we want to know, after his final payment, before he started missing, how much money was he still owing? That amount will accumulate interest for 4 months when the person is not paying any cent. That will, the value that you get after including interest of the outstanding balance, that will be the new value for P. And we'll use that value to calculate the new X. So the X here is going to change because of missed payments. And it's likely to be higher now. Because there are consequences if you miss a payment. Okay? And the consequence is more interest. Okay? So on the next page, first thing I'm going to calculate the outstanding balance after the 10th payment. So M is going to be 10. Right? So let me move on to the next page. So to do that question, the first thing is to write my formula for outstanding balance. This is the formula. Right. At this stage, I'm using the X that I got in the first part of the question to calculate the outstanding balance after the 10th payment. Right? So this will be 1 plus I raised to the power of M minus 1 all over I. Right? Remember, P is the amount borrowed, okay, which is 50,000 times 1 plus the interest, that's 0.0145 over 12, 0.145 over 12. M refers to the total number of repayments made before missing any payment. And for this question, it's going to be 10. So put 10 here minus X. Now, I got it from the reading the question. All right, now X is this value here. So 2,412 and 47 cents. 2,412 and 47 cents times 1 plus 0.145 over 12. We raise this to the power of positive 10 rather. Well, this is future. Okay, this will be positive 10 minus 1. Then you get that, you divide that by 0.145 over 12. Can someone tell us how much the person is owing after making the 10th payment? Can you please do that calculation quickly? Right, I want you to pay attention carefully. The question says, can I have your attention? Stop talking. Right, this person was supposed to pay off the loan within 24 months, right? But what happened within those 24 months, he was able to make the first payment, second, third, fourth, up to the 10th payment. Then he could not pay off the 11th payment, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th payment. You get that part? Huh? So he made 10 what? Payments. But he missed the 11th, 12th, 13th, and the 14th payments. Now, we want to know how much money was he owing after making the 10th payment. Why do we need to know that? Because when you miss a payment, during the period that you miss payments, there is a specific amount which you will be owing in total, a large amount. That amount accumulates interest based on this formula which I told you in the morning, A equal to P times 1 plus I raised to the power of n. So we need to know what is that amount that the person is now owing after making 10 payments out of the 24. How much is he owing? You see, like for example, as I told you last time, with the case of my car, I know how much I'm owing now. Right? And I know how much I'm owing. Right? No, it's fine. I won't give you the exact figure, but I will give you an approximate. Yeah. Right? It's between 20K and 30K. Right? So listen, that amount, listen carefully, it's called the outstanding balance. All right? How many payments am I left to complete? It's 5 now. 5 left. So I've got August, September, November, and December. Now, let's say, listen, let's say somehow I don't make a payment out of those 5. It means my monthly installment will go what? Will go up because of missing a payment. But at this stage, I haven't missed any payment, but the bank still needs to tell me how much you are owing. And I also need to know how much am I owing them. So for this case now, after the 10th payment, we need to know how much money is he owed. Okay? How many payments has he made? That's 10 payments. What is the total amount still being owed? That's our outstanding balance. That's the one that we calculate. So M is gonna be 10. It's not N, it's M. N is 24, but M is what? 10. Okay, take it. You following that? Right. So we need to know before he started missing, how much money is he owing? Okay, so that's what I calculated here. That's what I calculated. Right? So our M is 10. 10 there refers to the total number of payments made up to a specific point. All right? So, can someone tell me the answer? It's 30,000? 9? How many cents? 0.34. All right. Now, this is not the answer. Listen, this is not the answer, but it is part of getting to the answer. The question is saying, what is the new monthly payment? So this amount here, that's the amount the person is owing after the 10th payment. Can you stop that, please? After the 10th the 10th payment, the person is owing this amount. How many months are left? There are 14 months left. Out of those 14, the person missed 4. Okay? Because of missing 4 months, this amount is going to accumulate interest for 4 months based on the compound interest formula. Okay? Just to remind you, the moment the person starts missing those payments, it's no longer an annuity. it stops to be a what? An annuity. Okay? Therefore, the compound interest formula kicks in. So, after this, we then have to use the compound interest formula. A equal to P times 1 plus I raised to the power of N. Right? We want to know now, since he missed the 11th, 12th, 13th, the 14th, how much is he going to pay for his 15th payment after missing 4 months? That's the objective. So, our P here is this amount. So that's 30,901 and 34 cents. 1 plus, the interest hasn't changed. Our N here is going to be 4 months. You want, because from the 15th month, you start making what? Payments. So we'll put 4 here. What will be the answer? Yes. Okay. All right. Look here. The person has missed 4 payments, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? We have calculated first the balance being owed by the person after the 10th payment. Okay? Which is this amount. This one here. The one in green. Right? This amount here is going to accumulate interest for the 4 months that he is not paying a cent. Okay? Interest has to accumulate because the person borrowed. Remember, what's the definition of interest? It is the cost of borrowing. So if you borrow, you pay a cost. Okay? So because he stopped making any repayment, this amount accumulates for 4 months only. If he continues to miss payments, the amount will continue to increase. It will continue to increase. It won't stop. Okay? So the only way of making it stop is by starting to make repayments. So the first repayment after the 4 missed months is going to be done on the 15th month. And that repayment won't be equal to the X that we used here. It has to be more than this X because of interest. Okay? So what amount do you get here? 422. How many cents? 118. Right. So the new amount that the person is owing due to missing 4 months is 32,422 and 19 cents. Now this value is our new P. That's our new P that we are going to use to determine X. Okay? So on the next page, we are now using the present value to calculate X. So P is equal to X times 1 minus 1 plus I raised to the power of minus N all over I. We want to calculate X, so our P is this amount, 32,422, okay, 32,422 and 19 cents times I, which is 0.145 over 12. We divide that by everything inside the square bracket, which will be 1 minus 1 plus 0.145 over 12. Now, how many payments are left? How many payments? He made 10 payments, missed 4. The total is supposed to be 24. So how many are left? 10. Okay, so we'll put minus 10 there. Are you following? Yes. Right. So can someone tell us what's the answer here? Can someone tell us? Everyone is supposed to have their calculator and be busy using their calculator. It's 3461, comma. Right, are you getting that? Now, do you see the difference now in the monthly repayment? Initially it was 2,412. Now it's 3,461. So it's because of missing 4 months, he's going to pay over 1,000 extra in terms of the monthly repayment. That is due to interest that accumulated during those 4 months. Do you see that there's a consequence of missing a payment? That's why when you decide to borrow, you must